Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo Master Nightfall, the Glassway, with no Anarchy on Warlock. For my loadout, I'll be using the Stasis Shade Binder for Warlock. I'll definitely be using the Dusk Field for my grenade. And these are the 4 fragments I'll be using for this video. For my loadout, I'll be using the Outbreak Perfect or Outbreak Prime. Next, I'll be using the Tyranny of Heaven bow. For my heavy, I'll be using the 7 Seraph Saw machine gun with Vocal weapon. Next, I'll be using the stag with pulse rifle targeting, pulse rifle ammo finder, Rasputin with stat increase, 10 recovery. Next, I'll be using pulse rifle loader, anti-barrier pulse rifle with 10 recovery and Warmind protection. Next, I'll be using double damage void resist with 10 recovery and power of Rasputin. Next, I'll be using machine gun scavenger, pulse rifle scavenger, global reach. Next, I'll be using thermal overload for surge eater with range of the Warmind and 5+ recovery. When using the stag exotic, always have 100 recovery so you can get your healing rift back really fast when on critical health. Now for this video, I mainly was focusing on platinum rank than 100k. Since togetherness is on, togetherness can slow you down for master. And for this nightfall involves a lot of adds and majors that you have to take them down from long range. And I decided to use a bow for this video and just to switch up my loadout a bit. Since I've been using Zeno and other weapons over and over, but because Bungie is forcing me to use these weapons and it's very strict, you know, I just have no choice. So in this video, I'll be relying on using the machine gun and especially the Outbreak Prime. So since we don't have any overload, only nades, we will have to freeze the overload champion and consistently take down DPS the overload champion. That's another reason why I'm using pulse loader with this loadout. I'm using pulse loader so I can reload much faster and try to take down the overload champion much quicker. But sometimes, even with pulse loader, the overload champion can regain his health quickly. So sometimes the nade doesn't work so much. And I do want to use a sword for this video, but I can't because of togetherness. So over here I decided to take down the Shanks from long distance. You can also use a scout. And another reason why I'm not using the scout is because I want to use pulse rifle loader so I could take down the overload champions more consistently. Because the thing about using Outbreak Prime without pulse loader is the champion's health will regain fast and you need something to make sure it doesn't regain its health. Especially using a strong special or a heavy weapon where it can consistently damage the overload champion while throwing your nade can help as well. So now there's going to be a wave of adds. Decide to stay here and not push, just take down all the adds and lastly take down overload champion. The reason why I don't want to push is because the anti-barrier and another wave of adds will spawn Now over here you saw that I shot my Warmind cell and the fallen barrier champion fall off the cliff. Now this normally doesn't happen, so I will say that's a bit luck there. You can just clear down the ads and then deal with the champion, or you could just kill a champion with just your super. So here I decided to just take down the barrier champion with my super, get a Warmind cell, and then just take down a couple of ads. And of course, always reload your machine gun. Reason why I'm using the machine gun is just to clear down ads and to make Warmind cells. That's another reason why I'm not using grenade launcher, which grenade launcher will be good, especially with dealing with the overload champions, but there are just pros and cons using machine gun and grenade launcher for this loadout. Now another reason why I'm using a bow is just to deal with the Stasis boss, which you will see very soon. And honestly, I got really annoyed of using a scout rifle to take down the Stasis boss. You can also DPS the Stasis boss with the outbreak. But the only thing I would say about the outbreak is it's just a bit, with the recoil, it could just take a while to take down the Stasis boss. Especially the second one, which I'll be talking about very soon. I decided to ignore the overload champion and just take down the Stasis boss. And there's going to be a mini time skip because basically what I'm doing is just spamming my bow on critical hits to take down the Stasis boss. So if you have Anarchy, right, you could just spam your Anarchy and just take it down very quickly. So once I do run out of bow, then I switch to my pulse rifle. Another reason why I didn't want to push is because the overload champion was nearby, and I wanted to first take down the Stasis mini boss first and then take down the overload champion. Then once I do that, I like to take down a couple of ads. Then next, what I like to do is just clear down the ads, and then we'll be taking down another barrier champion. So now, just like in my last video, we're just going to bait the overload champion to walk towards us. I like to first freeze them, that way they won't teleport out of my nade. I'm just trying to be very patient, and like I said in this video, this Nightfall involves a lot of patience, and I mean a lot of patience. So now once I freeze the overload champion, I start to throw my nade. And then I'll be using pulse rifle. Now sometimes the overload champion can shoot you even if you freeze the champion. And you'll see very soon, sometimes it could be a little aggressive. So you saw there, he can still shoot me, and that's why I'm moving around, so he won't kill me while trying to do DPS on the champion. So next what I like to do is just take down all the vandals, the snipers. Then over here, two options, you can take down the ads or take down the barrier champion. Here I decided to just take down the ads since they were a lot of snipers and I did not want to deal with them. So I decided to pop my healing rift, and of course this vandal was immune from the barrier champion. Decide to pull back and reset. So little things like that can happen. Sometimes there is a chance where you won't clear down all the ads with your super. Sometimes. Now this barrier champion is very harmless. You can see the pulse rifle outbreak can melt the anti-barrier champions very quickly. That's the reason why I decided to use a bow, and of course use a pulse rifle loader just to take down the barrier champions quickly, and that way I can prevent them from popping their shield. Now for this bit, this is the reason why I'm using the bow. This reason. And why I'm using the machine gun as well. So over here it's a bit of a gamble. I like to first throw my nade and pray for RNG, well actually a couple of ads, to get a Warmind cell. Once I get a Warmind cell, I decide to quickly shoot it and to take down the vandals and the shank. Now the boss, the mini stasis boss, will throw a nade at you. There are times where he doesn't throw a nade, but 90%, I will say 90 or 95%, he will throw a nade and try to freeze you. When he does that, always hug behind a rock. And also pop a healing rift when the stasis boss throws a nade at you. So now over here I decide to focus only on the stasis boss. So this is another reason why I didn't want to use the scout rifle. It's because I will have to use a scout rifle to take down the stasis boss, since the pulse rifle wouldn't be so good shooting it down from far away. But to be honest, I'm not sure how it is on PS5 or the Xbox Series of how the recoil for the outbreak is, but on PS4 is just not consistent, and that's why I decided to use a bow just to take it down instead of using a scout. Another thing I'd like to mention is this stasis boss likes to snipe you, and he can two-shot you if you just stand still. That's why I'm going behind a rock and shooting. And you can see there I did a little mini time skip, since it's just basically me of 2 minutes or a minute and a half of just using a bow. So once I take down the stasis boss, I like to go over here. And the Overload champion will eventually walk to this little area platform. So once the Overload champion does spawn, you can freeze it and then just throw your nade to take it down. So here I was just waiting for the Overload champion to appear. And this area can be a little buggy. There are times where the Overload champion just lags all the way from the back or around the area right now you're seeing. Now over here I decided to pop a healing rift very soon, because this Overload champion likes to shoot you even if it's frozen, even if you stun it and throw and spam nades, it could still shoot you. You can see it here that this Overload champion will shoot you and try to damage you while trying to do DPS on it. That's why I decided to pop a healing rift or go behind this rock. That way it won't kill me. So once I take down the Overload champion, I always reload my machine gun. And next, what I like to do is use my super again to take down the champion or the ads. All depends of your play style and what you want to do. Here I decided to just take down the ads and then take down a barrier champion later, since the barrier champion's very harmless. And I don't think this barrier champion isn't too bad. Not much of a threat. So once you clear down the ads, you can just use your outbreak pulse rifle to take it down very quickly. Once I do that, I proceed to the next area. So yeah, this nightfall is going to be very, very long. Double primary with a heavy. So like I said, there are pros and cons. And if I was using a scout rifle, let's just say, then I will have trouble dealing with the overload champions because my pulse rifle would take a long time to reload. And I will have to keep switching back and forth with the scout rifle and pulse rifle and heavy, and it could be a little headache, to be honest. Over here, I decided to just take my time to clear down the ads. That's another reason why I'm using the bow. Over here, it just makes it much easier to take down these ads. And you can see here, you can easily take down the shanks and easily take down the red ads. You can also shoot a Warmind cell as well. This bow can make Warmind cells with the Wrath of Rasputin. I will be talking about it in a Warmind cell video very soon. I'm still working on it. So now I was just double scouting. In this area, there's going to be 2 overload fallen champions. And these 2 champions love to accidentally fall down and mess up your platinum rank. So when you do see the overload champions, which I will show very soon, always tag them with a pulse rifle, with a bow, anything. That way when they fall down, it'll count as you defeated the champion. So there is going to be a couple of snipers. And you will see very soon in this footage when I did deal with the overload champion. I did had a hard time doing DPS on it. Even with pulse rifle loader, I still had some trouble. And like I said, sometimes the nades is not consistent. Now I was trying to clear down these snipers. And they do like to hide, play hide and seek and hop around. Here I decided to use a Warmind cell. Take it down. And there's going to be an overload champion. Now this champion likes to hop around. And like I said, always tag it because sometimes it can fall down. You can see here I throw my nade. And I decided to use my pulse rifle. And you'll see very soon that the nade for some reason didn't work. And it teleported out. You can see there, I threw my nade. And for some reason, even though it was close to the nade, it still didn't get stunned. Very weird, to be honest. So I had to wait for my nade. And I decided to take down the vandals. Now sometimes Overload Champion can sneak up on you, and if it does, immediately use super. You will see very soon that the Overload Champion sneak up on me. And I decided to use my super. So what I do here is, if I do have to use my super, which I normally don't do, is you can just freeze Overload Champion, throw your nade, and then you can just do DPS. Sometimes I do like to pop a healing rift as well, especially if in this area, since there is a sniper that I didn't kill yet and it could snipe me from here if I'm not too careful. Here I decided to use my machine gun and then of course use the pulse rifle. Want to take down the Overload Champion, we can proceed to the next area. So now we're going to be in this area, almost like Exodus Crash, where you had to stay on this platform and there will be a wave of ads spawning depending what percent you are for standing on this plate. Now I will say sometimes you can get snipers, but in this footage I didn't get snipers. So it could be a little random, a little RNG. I'm still trying to figure out why sometimes I get snipers and why sometimes I don't. So I will be messing around with this strike / nightfall again. So over here I was just taking my time to stand on the plates and to take down the shanks with the bow. I'm gonna be really honest, I really do enjoy using the bow in this area than a scout and a pulse rifle. If the bow was able to have overload for this season, then this nightfall wouldn't be tough at all. Not so much, to be honest, if using the bow for the overload champions. The overload champions would be a joke, if I have to be really honest. And yeah, using the bow in this area it just feels way more better than a scout. Because sometimes when I'm using a scout, even a blue scout, I did try a blue scout by the way. Sometimes I cannot hit the snipers all the way from the top, which you will see which ones I will be referring to. And I just feel like bows are the best kinetic weapons in the game. And they should just have all primary weapons of anything we can put, like anti-barriers, overload, unstoppable, you know? Because I just feel it's too strict. I just don't like it, to be honest. So once we complete the plate, there will be another wave of ads, and of course, another overload champion. So you guys think this overload champion is a headache? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we're gonna deal with the Minotaur overload champions, and they're 5 times worse than the fallen one. Especially using the pulse rifle, which you will see very soon for this video and why it took such a long time. So now what I'm doing over here is I'm trying to bait the overload fallen champion. So I can throw my nade and then just use my pulse rifle to take it down. You can also use your machine gun as well. For me, I decided just to save my machine gun. So once I take it down, I decide to push a bit, and then I'll be using my super very soon to take down more of the ads. So there is going to be a solar shank. There's only one solar throughout this nightfall. So I decided to pull back just to clear down the vandals since they were damaging me a bit. So once I take down the shield of this shank, I decided to try to take it down. So once I do, I look for these snipers. Now there's gonna be snipers on top of the left and right in this area. In time, they will jump out of their little camping bases, which you can see right now. So I decided to use a Warmind cell, and still I didn't clear down all these snipers. So I decided to use a bow to take them down, but even using a bow, they can be a little annoying. And that's the area you saw there, that when using a scout, it can be a headache. So then a barrier champion will be spawning. You can take it down. For me, I decided to first clear down all the ads and then take down the barrier champion. Here I saw a Warmind cell, so I decided to shoot it down just to clear down the vandal. And of course it did damage the barrier champion as well. So I decided to do damage and to take down the champion. And you can see here the pulse rifle is really good for the anti-barrier champions, which is why I'm using it, because I really like it. I like the outbreak pulse rifle. So now I'm just trying to take down these snipers from long range. And then we'll be proceeding to the final boss room, where it can test out your patience. And yay, this is going to be really fun. Can't wait to tell you guys what happened. So there's going to be the last overload fallen champion in this room. There's going to be 2 snipers from the left. Well, no, 2 drakes on the left and the right. I like to take them down from long range. I decided to take down the overload champion. Decided to freeze it first, and you saw there even when I froze it, right? For some reason it teleported. So yeah, these overload champions can sometimes be buggy. Here I decided to use my pulse rifle. And I decided to take it down with outbreak. And now the boss will be spawning, and I will be going to the mini cheese spot / mini platform. Now, for this boss room, there's going to be 16 champions. Highly recommend to first take down the mini hydra. There's going to be the final boss and then a mini hydra boss. Here I decided to take down the hydra boss first, but to be honest, in this video what I would have recommend is to go to the mini chase spot and take down the mini hydra from there than where I am, because the reason why is this hydra likes to move around, and of course there are champions where they can corner you and try to kill you, even though when you're crouched down in the area. So once you take a quarter of the health of the mini hydra, it will despawn, and there's going to be 4 champions. Now, I will say for this method, you must kill them quickly. Because reason why I would say to take them down quickly is because these champions will gain up on you and they will kill you. And you can see the struggle here of even using pulse rifle loader. I am having a hard time taking down these champions. So when dealing with the champions, you will have to take them down one at a time. Now if I was using grenade launcher, yeah, it would be easier. Like I said, there are pros and cons using machine gun and grenade launcher. So once I took down the overload champion, I decided to wait for the other champion to approach. So there's going to be a lot of time skips for the boss room. You can see here, you could just wait until the overload champion walks by. And that's what I did. I just waited patiently for this phase, since they can walk inside a little mini building. So over here, what I like to do is throw my nade, and of course use a machine gun as well to take down the overload champion. You must keep DPSing the overload champion with the pulse rifle. If you don't, the health will regain quickly. And that's the thing. That's another reason why I'm not using scout, because I really need to reload the pulse rifle to DPS the overload champions. So now we're at our 3rd overload champion. And you can see here I'm just using my outbreak to take it down. And of course spamming nades so it can stay and not run away. So now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the final overload champion to walk by. So I'm just shooting some bows to try to bait it. And now I can trap the overload champion and to take it down. To be honest, this is really tough to do. Now, if the thing about this phase is sometimes 3 champions can gain up on you and you will have to hide. And it could be a bit of a headache. So once I take down all of the barrier, all the overload champions, I like to go in this little platform, this area, and take down a quarter of the health of the final boss. And you can see the outbreak prime is very good for the boss. You see here you can melt it pretty fast. or pretty decent. So once the boss despawns, we're gonna go to the mini cheese spot. Alright, so there's gonna be these wyverns or ravens, these huge vex. And that's the reason why I'm using this cheese, because these huge vex can two-shot you in Master. In Grandmaster, they can one-shot you. Now you can actually go to this mini cheese spot and find a location where you can use your auto rifle or pulse rifle, submachine gun to shoot through this wall to do DPS on the mini hydra and these huge vex dudes, which I highly dislike. So there are around 4 of these Riven Vex, and of course the mini Hydra boss as well. So in this mini cheese spot, I like to first quickly take down the mini Hydra. You will see me using all my ammo, a lot. So you'll see here that I was using all my ammo and I had to wait for Bungie to give me more ammo. Another thing I like to say is bows doesn't really work. You can't really use bows or grenade launchers to do DPS around this little mini cheese spot. You can use Anarchy to do DPS on this mini cheese spot. So I did some time skip. Always stand here to take down these vex. There are around 4 and always count them. There are also arc hydras, no, arc harpies, and you can take them down with your heavy. So you can see here they do walk towards you. They will walk through the building and you can just easily take them down around this cheese spot. So once you take down all 4 of these ravens of these huge vex, you can get out from the mini cheese spot and you can just take down the remaining ads. And like I said, always count how many are they or how many you killed. That way you won't get too shot over here, especially with togetherness on. It can be a bit headache. So once I take down the harpy, all the ads, there's gonna be 4 barrier champions in this phase. I like to first take down the barrier champion from the right side with my super. So I'm just trying to bait the anti-barrier and it will walk towards you, and I decided to use my super to take it down very, very quickly. So once I use my super, I just focus on 1 barrier champion and ignore the other 3. Since mainly I want to focus on taking down the first champion. Once I do, I take down the second one with outbreak perfect pulse rifle. You can see here that this pulse rifle is amazing with the anti-barrier champions. That's another reason why I decided to use the outbreak prime pulse rifle. So once I take down the second one, the third and the fourth one seems to be at distance. So I decided to take them down from this area. And once I do, we're gonna deal with another phase with overload champions. Now there's gonna be 2 Overload champions, well around 4. So these 2 Overload champions sometimes doesn't like to push through the building. Sometimes. Especially the last 2 Overload champions, you will have to bait them to go inside. To trap them and to take them down with the pulse rifle. Now you can see here I was waiting for the Overload champion to walk by. So now what I'm doing is just trying to take it down so I could deal with the second Overload champion. So you can see even throwing my nade, it can sometimes push the Overload champion away from doing DPS, which you will see very soon. Now I was having a lot of trouble in this area, by the way. So now we're gonna deal with the second Overload champion. So the Overload champion doesn't seem to push, so what I had to do is bait it. So I had to try to bait the Overload to walk towards me. And it can be a little headache. You can see there that I did bait it out a bit, and then I can do DPS with the pulse rifle. Now these champions are not a big issue. I would say the last 2 can be a headache because 4 times I lost counted. They kept running out of my nade and I wasted all my pulse rifle. So I had to like spam all my ammo to 0 so I can get my pulse rifle ammo back. You will see a lot of time skips for this boss fight because I was having trouble with these Overload champions. They kept running away from the nade even though I'm spamming outbreak. They sometimes can run away. So once you take down the 2 Overload champions, you can do DPS at the boss. So you can stand over here. So the boss will despawn very soon once you do a quarter of his health. You can see it's immune, and there's gonna be 2 Overload champions. Now these are the Overload champions I'm talking about that you're gonna have a hard time. So you will see very soon that I tried to bait 2 champions with my super and of course throwing my nade. No, these Overload champions, they can melee you and kill you. That's the reason why I decided to use my super, just to bait them and just to try to trap them so I can take them down. Now unfortunately I couldn't take down the second barrier champion. It did walk away when I was doing DPS with the first Overload champion. Things like this can happen, and that's why I would highly recommend to use Anarchy or a strong special weapon for this Nightfall, because the Overload champions can be very painful when you don't have a strong, fast, heavy weapon. You don't have a strong, heavy weapon. So let me just show you an example of what happened to me 5 times. I lost count in this video. So you can see here I baited, right? And this Overlord champion was sliding to the right side. And his health was regaining. It was like kind of buggy. And this happened to me like 4 to 5 times. And that's why I did time skips. Because it was very irritating. Not only that, I was also out of pulse rifle. So I had to like spam my heavy, well mainly my bow, not my heavy. And to get my pulse rifle ammo back. And sometimes a low champion can also be at the other side, and you had to bait it from there too. So you saw there, sometimes the champion is on top of the left or the right side. So once I take down this overload champion, then I can continue to do DPS at the boss. So now over here, I am doing DPS at the hydra. So once I do, it will immune itself, and we're gonna deal with the final phase. And what I like to do is go to the chase spot again, because we're gonna deal with these Riven, Vex, of course the mini hydra boss. But mainly the Rivens, the Vex are the troublemakers for this phase. So I decided to do DPS on the hydra. Always move around to find an area where you can shoot through the invisible wall with your pulse rifle or Anarchy or some machine gun. So you can actually take your time here to take down all these Vex, and of course take down the mini hydra boss. So of course I'm going to do a time skip again, because I ran out of ammo again. And this isn't the first time. I actually ran out of ammo like 10 times in this video. Yeah, I think 10 times. Yep, around 10 times, because I had to do a lot of time skip, especially dealing with the Overlord champions, because they kept running away from my nade a lot. So I'm just waiting for Bungie to give me ammo again, like the 10th time. And you can see it could be very painful. And for this boss phase, there's going to be 4 of these guys, these Riven Vex. Always make sure you count how many are they, how many you took them down. You can also take them down with your super as well. You just have to be super careful with them, and like I said in my video, they can 2-shot you. In Grandmaster, they 1-shot you. So now we took down the mini hydra boss. Finally. So over here, I'm just shooting and waiting for the remaining of those Vex to walk by so I can take them down. So once I kill the remaining of these Vex, then you can get out of the cheese spot and you can just kill the remaining ads. So finally we can get out of the mini cheese spot, and we're going to clear down the ads, and we're going to deal with 4 barrier champions. So of course there were a couple of ads that I didn't kill. So once you take down all the goblins, all the Vex, we're going to be dealing with four barrier champions. I like to bait the boss hydra to move over here. Once I bait the hydra boss to just move over there, that way it won't kill me, I like to go to the other side of this area to take down all the 4 barrier champions. Now, I will say that this one can be a little bit tough to do because you have to take down the barrier champions really fast. If you don't, they will move and the boss hydra can shoot you from this area where I'm standing. Always pop a healing rift when doing DPS on each of the barrier champions. There is a barrier champion that loves to follow the boss. And it can be super annoying. The one that's hopping back and forth, that barrier champion loves to follow the boss. This barrier champion is going to be the troublemaker. It's going to be the one that's going to give you a headache. Here I decided to wait for my healing rift so I can do DPS. Reason why is because sometimes the boss can shoot you and kill you while trying to do DPS on these barrier champions. So once I have a healing rift, I decided to quickly take it down with outbreak. And that's another reason why I put pulse rifle loader, so I could take down these barrier champions quickly when I have my healing rift. So now I'm just waiting again. And you'll see very soon that I did try to do DPS, right? But then the barrier champion got away. And then I had to wait for my ammo again, which was really annoying. So here I'm just waiting for my health to regain. And once I do, I decide to do DPS. Down the second barrier champion, now there'll be 2 more. So now I'm trying to take down this barrier champion, but the top one, the one who's always following the boss, was not letting me kill him. So I was trying to kill down this barrier champion, but then the barrier champion and the boss gain up on me and also hop around like a bunny. He's such a follower. Like, that anti-barrier champion gave me a huge headache. So you can see here that I was trying to take down the barrier champion again, but then the other champion that it always hops around back and forth, left and right, irritated me so bad that I decided to use my super to take it down, and of course freeze it first. So I decided to take down the barrier champion that always follows the hydra boss. You can freeze the barrier champion and take it down with your super, but you have to be careful and always have your healing rift because the boss can kill you while you're on your super. So now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for my health to go back a little bit. And I'm going to be taking down the final barrier champion. And once I do, I can finally take down the hydra boss. So yeah, this is fun. So now what I like to do is go around here And I was just looking for the hydra boss. Sometimes it likes to stay in that corner to the right or left, depending where you are. So I was trying to bait the hydra to move so I could do the final DPS and to take it down. So usually what I like to do is go back here, bait the hydra boss, pop a healing rift, then finally just kill this boss. You could just spam your outbreak prime. It does massive damage. You can just keep using the outbreak to take down the boss. And we finally killed the boss and we hit platinum. Yay! So there you go, guys. With togetherness, this was really tough. Thank you so much for watching. Reason why this video took so long was the Overlord champions kept running away from my DPS 5 times, 8 times, 10 times. I lost counted, and that's why I did a lot of time skips. I'll definitely go for 100k next time when it's not togetherness. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.